What showed you that some people are wolves in sheep's clothing? When my husband and I moved into our new neighborhood, the first person to greet us was Simon. He showed up at our door with a golden retriever wagging beside him and a plate of chocolate chip cookies that smelled like heaven. Perfect smile, friendly eyes, the whole package. He told us he lived 3 houses down and wanted to welcome us to the best neighborhood in town. My husband loved him immediately. Simon knew everything about the area, which restaurants were good, where to get your car fixed, even which grocery store had the best produce. He organized block parties every summer and helped shovel snow for Mrs. Chen when her back was acting up. Everyone on the street thought he was a saint, but something felt off about him. I couldn't put my finger on it at first. It started with little things, like how he always seemed to know when my husband left for work. 5 minutes after Jake's car pulled out of the driveway, there would be Simon knocking on my door with some excuse. He'd offer to fix our loose mailbox or bring over leftover dinner because he made way too much for one person. At first I told myself I was being paranoid. Maybe I was just adjusting to small town friendliness after living in the city for so long. But then I noticed he only did these drop-bys when I was alone. When Jake was home, Simon would just wave from his yard or make small talk about sports. One evening in February, Jake was working late at the office again. I was watching TV when someone knocked on the door around 9 o'clock. It was Simon, holding a flashlight and looking concerned. "Hey Lydia, I was walking Rex and saw someone lurking around your backyard," he said, his brow furrowed with worry. "Thought you should know since Jake's not home." My stomach dropped. I grabbed my coat and followed him outside to check. He led me around to the side of the house, pointing his flashlight at the ground near our bedroom window. "See those footprints in the snow? Someone was definitely here." I looked down at the marks in the fresh powder, and my blood went cold. The boot prints were exactly the same tread pattern as the shoes Simon was wearing right now. I glanced at his feet, then back at the prints, trying to keep my expression neutral. "Oh wow, that's scary," I managed to say, backing toward the front door. "Thanks for letting me know. I'll call Jake." The next morning, I went to the hardware store and bought a cheap security camera. I set it up pointing at our driveway, hidden behind a plant on our porch. I didn't even tell Jake about it because I knew he'd think I was being ridiculous about his new best friend. 2 nights later, I checked the footage on my phone before bed. There was Simon at 1:30 a.m., not walking his dog, not passing by on a stroll. He was crouched down beside our living room window, moving his head around like he was trying to see inside. My hands were shaking as I watched him stay there for almost 10 minutes before creeping back toward the street. I took screenshots and marched over to Carol, our HOA president, the next morning. She looked at the images and shook her head. "Oh, honey, this must be some kind of misunderstanding," she said, handing my phone back. "Simon volunteers at the animal shelter every weekend. He's the nicest guy on the street. Maybe someone else was wearing similar boots?" No one wanted to believe me. At the block party planning meeting, I brought it up again, and 3 different neighbors jumped to Simon's defense. "He helped me move my couch last month," said one. "He found my cat when she got out," said another. I felt like I was going crazy, so I bought more cameras. I put one in our backyard, one pointing at the side of our house, and even a tiny one I hid in our front garden. I was determined to get proof that couldn't be explained away. What I found made my stomach turn. Simon wasn't just creeping around our house. Over the next week, the cameras caught him opening car doors in the Johnsons' driveway, peering into the Miller's kitchen window, and even trying door handles to see if anything was unlocked. He was like a ghost, moving through the neighborhood in the middle of the night. I printed out every screenshot and video clip, organized them by date and time, and created an anonymous email account. Then I sent everything to our neighborhood group chat with a message: "This is what your beloved neighbor does when you're sleeping." The police were called that same day. While they couldn't arrest him for anything based on my footage alone, it was enough to get a restraining order for the entire neighborhood. Simon was gone by the end of the week.